I'm here. I'm still getting things on screen, but I'm here. It is time to get things going. I am going to give it another few minutes just for people who do want to see this live to like see the notification and everything. That reminds me, I need to post this up in my live alerts. Stream notification. Ah, nope, not that's one person. Stream notifications. This. There we go. Now everyone knows I'm here. Okay. I have to watch this. I must. A lot of people want me to do this shit. So I'm doing it. I want to listen to it. I'm curious to see what NIKKE does for a live concert, because I've really only ever seen some of the stuff that Star Rail's done, some of the stuff that, of course, Arknights has done. And there might have been one other one. A Genshin one, maybe? It's been a while. But I also don't have any of the associated trauma with this game, so I'm not sure how I'm going to react. I usually don't react like super surprised or negative to most things. It's pretty rare for that to happen. Just more or less depends on how invested I am in the lore. And NIKKE is one of the ones where I know very little about the lore compared to other games I touch, because the fan base doesn't really put too much into it when it comes to like the lore dumps in my comments like other ones do. So I'm wondering what's going to happen and how I'm going to react to things. There also might be plenty of songs I don't know or don't remember, because that happens even with ones like Arknights. Even the most recent one, I was like, have I heard this before? Like it just happens. I don't retain much. When it comes to the music I listen, it's basically in ear, out mouth, and I just kind of go day to day. I listen to so much music on a regular basis that I'm not going to remember every little detail. So if you're expecting me to get hyped about a certain reveal, I might not, because I probably don't remember why it would be relevant, honestly. That's just how it is. I'm not trying to like ruin everyone's expectations of me reacting to this, but I just want to be real that I'm probably not going to remember. This live happens. Yeah, I don't know why. Why is that? They're like, every single one does that. They're like, hey, let's do this live show, and then like not release it to the public for like literally a year. It's just so strange to me. Like, I'd understand a couple of months or so, but like over half a year, like, damn. Good Lord. Yeah, like connecting things in the lore is important, but I usually do that. But the problem for it is like I don't get enough of those like lore feeds in my comments to like have an active connection to things. Otherwise, I'd be able to do it. So like if people aren't going to press them too much, I'm like, kind of depends. But I will be doing this just to see what happens here, because I'm curious for what people want, for what people expect of this, I suppose. So, like, that's kind of what's happening there. I mean, don't worry about spoiling the games for me, honestly, when it comes to lore dumps. I'm not a, I'm a journey person, not a destination person, so, like, lore surprises and like plot twists, they don't hit me like that even if I didn't know they were coming. I'm more like, oh, that's where the story's going. I'm very like binary on that response, where I'm just like, ah, yes, logical. Like it's the tism a little bit, I think, I just don't respond that well to it. I respond to it and I'm like, oh shit, that's what they're doing. But it's not like you're gonna ruin my experience if you give me a lore dump. So like, don't be afraid to do lore dumps in my comments or anything. I read all of them. It's why I know a bunch of the lore from like the Project Moon games, all of them. I know a lot of the Arknights lore. I know quite a bit of the Genshin lore. I know a little bit of other ones like Blue Archive too. So like, just say it. If there's a video I'm doing and it has like a lot of context, I read paragraphs in comments all the time. It's not, I don't do much else other than make stuff for YouTube and read the comments from people on YouTube for like, because half of them are people just giving me lore dumps, and that's fun to me. It's like, that's my form of reading a book, is reading people's lore dumps on games, because then sometimes I don't remember all the details, but then I'm surprised when it comes back around. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's when this happens. So, you know, like, it's a thing, right? So just don't be afraid to lore dump me. I'm perfectly fine with that. I will be streaming NIKKE at some point, but for those who haven't seen my other streams for like Arknights stuff and doing that, I'm doing them kind of in a loose order, where like wiki reading, but wiki comes to me. Exactly, yes. And I prefer that. I don't like having to go through the pages of the wiki all at once, but like the relative, or what's the word I'm looking for? The related information. I don't know why my brain had a problem hung up on that. Oh god, I'm not even speaking well today. Oh, how am I gonna record later? Oh shit. Anyway, yeah, so point being, lore dumps are nice when they're relevant. There's the word I was actually looking for, to the piece I was going to listen to that day. So let me in on the information of why this is important and why it hits more. That's what I like to see. But also, back to the other thing, I will be streaming NIKKE at some point. I'm doing them in loose order. So like, as I got to them on the channel, that's when I'll be playing them. So up next will be Genshin this coming week. I'll be trying that out for the first time. And then probably playing that and Arknights on and off throughout this month. And then I'll probably add another game to that cycle and then like retire streams of Arknights for a while and then focus on those two and like basically do 2 at a time is kind of my plan. Not necessarily in each stream. I won't like double them up all the time, but I'll have like a main focus for one of the streams. And then I'll also have like the backup game. So like, if I get tired or bored of Genshin after a while, just doing a bunch of like fetch questy stuff, I might go to check my Arknights stuff, you know, and then like make it a hybrid of sorts. And I'll keep doing that throughout my experience. I'm not sure what would be after Genshin. It's probably Blue Archive, to be honest with you. I can't remember exactly what came next, but it's one of those. I've already played Honkai Star Rail a little bit, like a year and a half ago. Maybe I should give it another shot, to be fair, but I digress. I need to listen to this. I've been yapping for 8 minutes. You should see my uncut videos. They're worse than this. That's why I edit things out, because I just go sometimes and it's like, none of that's relevant. Anyway, I've already got this pulled up, so we ready to go. I just need to hit play. I'm also gonna go all the... Okay, I've got to turn that off. It's gonna... No, I don't want to skip it. I want to watch it. No. Okay, I've got to turn this off real quick. How do I turn this off? I'm gonna hide this from YouTube so nobody gets mad at me. There we go. Yeah, okay, it's good. It was just a setting. I have a specific app and I like to watch the whole thing. There we go. And hey, Kirby, without further ado, I should just jump into this then. Okay, I'll skip the like up to 3 minutes because I know it's gonna be like a 2-minute wait. I want to watch the animation. It's part of the fun. Well, if this is already the live orchestra quality, I'm impressed. This sounds pre-recorded. So if this is like the actual band right now, as like an overture, that's sick as hell. Because like this is really good mixing. If this is live, this is very well done. The trumpage. Let's go. I never played the trumpet. It seemed like probably the next choice I would have had if I wasn't a percussionist. Albeit I did want to play the cello. Like violin cello was very interesting to me, but I didn't really have the dexterity for it. Plus there was nobody in my area that could teach me, so it really wasn't an option. That is not proper bow form. Not at all. I know they're trying to make sure that her face is visible, but that is not how you play a violin. It's great for framing. The bell on that French horn is far too tiny. Is that a French horn? Yeah, it's gotta be. She got the hand mute in. Yeah. I was thinking it might be a variant. It's also simplified a little bit, I think, in design. I'm not giving them that much hell for the little animation loops they've got here, but I will be cheeky about it. Alrighty. Yeah, you only missed the yapping, Fangor. It is time. Okay, it might be on a... Okay, there we go. Now it's about to go live. Okay. I was wondering how long it would loop through that. Thought it was probably going to be soon. Oh, is this like the same? It's literally the same thing. Okay, that's a little goofy. Okay. I skipped through it because I'm like, I just saw all that. Ooh. There we go. Now we're getting original stuff. The jiggle physics. I know that we're gonna see more of it, but like, good lord. Lord almighty. Gooner concert. All right, what's coming? Half the fan base. Ayo! Anyway. That must have been pre-recorded then. Let's see how the mix is here. What's up? We're gonna see what this has. This mix is still really good. This might be the same, yeah. This feels kind of like the same mix. Maybe that prior stuff was real. Imagine being such a good vocalist that you can be one person in each section and sing that well. All right, Jesus. Love a good kit cam. That's a really good kit angle. Oh God, that's Purnell? Oh, she looks way different from the last time I saw her on camera. I didn't even put two and two together. Holy hell. She got that style rocking. All right, Jesus. It's been a while since I've heard her in a song for NIKKE, too. I honestly never would have recognized her. Glad you said something. Downloading update. Is this they're just playing music to somebody playing the game. That's all this is. They're just playing the game normally. That's a great saxophone tone. That's so smooth. Holy hell. Oh. This is an extremely well-mixed concert. There's a little bit much maybe in a live chat, Speedy, yeah. Like, I read it, but you're kind of right. Lore dumps are better to be read in, like, static comment sections. Everyone in this band is locked the fuck in. Like... And I love how much they're showing the kit. And this saxophone, that is so good. This is an insane saxophone tone. Yo, he playing the xylophone. Hell yeah. Let's go. Xylophone. Fucking, we stand. Yeah, this is great music production. That's an insane production quality. Isn't this their first live, too? Ooh. Ooh. Hell yeah. This is an insane start. Like, quality-wise. The band is so insanely impressive. The mix is phenomenal. The camera angles are fucking top-notch. Woo! Get a little stank on that piano there. Okay. So, I don't usually pause, but I gotta say it while I'm paused. This is probably one of the best produced concerts so far. Not in the visual spectacle side, but definitely the overall production quality so far. Like, the first couple ones for Arknights were like, yeah, they're okay. They sounded fine, more or less, but there was even some audio issues with some of those, and it's like, This is their first one, and it's already this competent. is insane. Like, they didn't just hire out people who, like, they're like, yeah, we got some money, let's do a concert. This is like, we're doing a concert and we're doing it fucking properly. It's like they hired people who have been doing this for decades and knew exactly what they needed to do. They have the pit percussion angle, which I love. Like, I mentioned that I love the kit angle for, like, the drum kit. That's what that is. It's the pit camera angle, which is basically not used for anything except for pit percussion in, like, live theater. So it's like, whew, yeah, like great choices. People setting this up who know what works the best for which angles and which instruments. This is a really, really good start. Like, insanely good start. Like, God, the mix is fantastic too. Like, to be fair, the most recent Arknights overall, probably still a general better production, but that's just because they've had years to iron out the kinks. This didn't have any kinks to iron out so far. We're 12 minutes into this, and so far it's one of the most competent live show, like, premieres I've ever seen. So we're starting great, dude. All right, next song. And that entire orchestra, everyone involved was playing their parts so beautifully. It almost sounded like they were played by sample packs, not real people. It was that tight. Oops. I don't know the lore enough to know why that matters. I'm sure it's one of these moments, yeah. I don't know. You can all cry, and I will focus on the beauty of the music. Take my gun, use it wisely. Ooh. Oh. Sorry, there's just a fuckload of tension on that. Like, I want to compose this with as many diminished potentials as we can. And they did that. I've not played the game. No, I've never played NIKKE. I've only listened to the music and gotten very little out of the lore. I know some lore things, but not enough for this to impact me at all. Like, I understand it's an emotional weight, obviously, but it's like, I haven't spent time with the characters to know why it would be so impactful. Once I learn that, it'll hit me more, but I'll probably get there at some point. Oof. An aggressive resolve, too. Only 20 minutes into the game. Fair? Do they unravel why you should have more? Okay. So before we get into the next song, sorry I had to pause at a really weird moment there. If that happens 20 minutes into the game, quote unquote, or like after the first chapter, that probably wouldn't affect me as much. I'm the type of person who needs a lot more time with a character for them to impact me before I lose them and for it to actually matter, you know? So that's kind of where I sit on that. So like that character, it probably wouldn't have hit me anyway, that they were passing, because I'd just be like, well, congratulations. Who are you? Like, I'm sorry. I mean, if it's a good setup, that's fine. But also, I wouldn't be like crying. You know, like it just would not hit me that way. It's a way to set the emotional tone of the game that I can like that would make sense, but also like how that like it wouldn't get me going. I would just be like, well, shit, that sucks. I need like in real life, I need weeks to care before I get invested. The same thing, by the way, spoilers for Arknights like chapter 1 for those who haven't, right? The Ace fight, or the not really fight, but like Ace, that did not get me to like have any sort of emotional impact even when I experienced it the first time and didn't know what was happening, which happened through the anime, because it felt like I should have known him for longer for me to care. In world, them losing Ace sucked, and I'm like, well, that's unfortunate. I don't care though, you know, like I just found out who you were. You've been working with these people in world for years and they all love you. I fucking just got here. Like, it just doesn't hit me like that. So that's what happens. Yeah, it's like, it's just giggle physics. That's supposed to be a J in the front of that. Just giggle physics. Ah, yes, clown game. Honk honk, but not in that way. Oh, hell no. I'm actually aromantic and asexual, so you wouldn't catch me on a date. Let alone bringing a ring on one. Now we kind of got vibes going. Now I'd be bopping. We floating. This is pretty. There's a very hopeful energy to it. It's got that high-flying optimism that I've talked about recently in other videos. Ooh, a little accent there. Okay, drummer. Yeah, get that stank face off your... Sorry, I heard the drummer going off. Ain't no way that those were scripted fills. Bro's having a little bit of fun cymbal dancing. He's just me for real. I loves me a percussionist that just kind of knows exactly what they want to do, even if it's not exactly on the notation. I do know a little bit of the Old Tales lore. But that's mostly because people have given me a little bit of a lore dump on those. It was very pretty. I can definitely feel the optimism in that one. Just really feels like the song of somebody who is just endlessly hopeful. That's really the best way to like round out the feeling of that one. Ooh, ooh. We're not done being playful yet. Don't worry about the depression. Everything you just experienced, never been a problem. Let's all go to the beach and have some fun. Have you ever seen a slice of life anime? This is cute girls doing cute things. Let's go. We're no longer about depression. We vibing with the saxophone. Let's go! Hell yeah, bro's getting into it. Woo! A little bit of thumb work there. Go for some fast plucks. No slap bass though. Shame. Oh! I think I heard a mistake in that piano part there. It was very small, but I think I heard it. First mistake I could hear of the entire show so far. Nice. And it's ozone symbol too. A nice light wash. Perfect symbol. Sus visuals. Great music. Gooner shit on screen. Hell yeah. I was feeling it. I couldn't help myself. We clapping. Woo. Ha, see you. See you again. What the hell was that? Let's go. They didn't give a bow to the soloists? Shame. Is that Camellia? When did Camellia get a work on this game? We've gone from like fun beach party to beautiful forest fantasy. The oboe, for real. Nobody loves the oboe as much as it deserves to be. Can we talk about that real quick? I don't even really remember this one. Like, it's been way too long. Again, the mix is fantastic. I cannot get over that. It's just so clean. Like that brass section, like just sneaking in there. It was so beautifully nested in everything else. It sat right in. This feels dramatic, not so much sad for me. It's more of like a romanticized drama. Ooh. Did you hear that low? Oh, what was that? Was that a tuba? That was down there. Holy shit. That was a low note. Oh, wait a minute. Do I recognize the one on screen? Yeah, I do. Now, her, I know some of her backstory. I love that artwork. That's such a cool piece of artwork. Okay. I think I realized what they're doing here for the mix. Which is a great quality thing. I think they did enough live practices on this stage with the team that they had preloaded mixes for each individual song, which is an awesome thing to do. It's a great idea for quality of life on the image, for the quality of life on the music. That's like, then you can just kind of set stuff up and let it go. And then you have a really locked in, perfect mix for each song. Because, like, different instruments are getting more and others getting less than the song we just had. Again, just a great idea. Like, usually they do that, but usually it's not this good. So they must have done a lot of, like, prerequisite work, a lot of practice, a lot of setup to be able to get it this well done. Because they usually don't get it this nice. Well, I'm sure they, like, do plenty of their own rehearsals in their own, like, recording and practice spaces. But they must have done this on this stage to get the mix right for this location, is what I'm saying. They probably had, like, a couple of days, 3, 4, to get every single song this fine-tuned in the mix. Just in the mix. Maybe even a week? Maybe. That might be a little bit much. A week for a mix is a little bit much, but possible. At least for this long of a show. But a couple of days for the mix, surely, and then for the orchestra themselves have probably been playing it for at least a month. Because, like, pros can learn music really fucking quick, but also they probably prefer to have at least a month, if not 2 or 3, to get it really down. It's hard to tell on that side because pros are pros. They're really fucking good for a reason. But also, like, just the mix for each individual song is so tight. No, not again. Again, another one where it's like, I kind of vaguely know what's going on here, but I haven't lived with the characters, so it doesn't hit me that hard. But if you need tissues, feel free. I actually am kind of surprised they don't have more vocalists since they had Purnell in there in the beginning. And then she just kind of left and hasn't been back since. Like, I'm sure I at least hope they're going to use her again. See, right there would have been the perfect place to throw the vocals in if they were gonna, like, introduce them late. Right at that punch. That would have been a great spot. Ooh. Beautiful solo, though. Jesus Christ. How far can you bend that string? Good lord. That guitarist might be 9. I don't know what 9 looks like. I didn't want to talk over that moment, because I knew that'd probably make a lot of you cry. So I was like letting you have your moments. Ooh. Oh, that was an unfair piano edition. Oh, bro's throwing in jazz in there. That's unfair. He's getting bluesy with it. That's vile. Beautiful work on the piano. I also don't think that was written down. I think he just did that. I think that was off the cuff. See, now we're not sad anymore. Now we vibing. Hell yeah. I'm still impressed they're not doing vocals. Just in general. Do they bring Purnell back? They do? Okay. I was like, we're halfway through and we've only seen her for like the intro sequence. And that's what's kind of a bummer though. You can hire vocalists. That's the only downside to this performance. But also, if you put vocals over this beautiful of arrangement, I don't know if it would be as good. I mean, you can hire vocalists. Okay, that actually might be 9. Oh, wait a minute. That's got to be 9. Now I'm sold. That's got to be. He's doing the same fingerings in a lot of his solo stuff. That's got to be 9. Like, yes, it's their songs, but like, that's got to be 9. Ooh, I heard that timpani in there. Hello. Hell yeah. Claps. But before the next song begins, I do want to say one of the best factors of the most recent Arknight's ambient synesthesia was the vocalists. And it wasn't because they used the same vocalists. they could have hired people like they did for the Arknights one, because the person they hired for most of the Arknights songs, she was fucking brilliant. You could tell she was theater and stage trained. They can do that. You want to have presence on stage, hire people who are like active theater people. That's what they did for the Arknights one, and it was so worth it. They had so much character. They were using the whole stage. You could see the sass in every single movement they were doing. They were owning that shit. I think out of like the 15 songs, 15, 20 songs they played, like 10 of them were between two vocalists that aren't the original vocalists. And then they had like two bands that played other songs with their main vocalists that were like, there was Riona and one of the other ones that did one of the contingency contract songs. Then their band name is escaping me. Point is that other than that, it was just the other vocalists. And then like they had a kind of more like an operatic vocalist handling something that needed to be done there. You can hire multiple people. These people make thousands of dollars off this game. You could do this. Yeah, and Casey as well. Like, she was another one. So technically 3, but you know what I mean. Like, she wasn't the one I was talking about, the operatics. That was, I was meaning the 2 who were like kind of dancing around like fairy style. I forget what, they didn't really have names associated. They were just vocalists. But then yeah, Casey was there as well. So it's like, you get other people. So it's like, you can hire a couple. Between for like, especially an hour performance for all these songs, you could hire 3 or 4 and it would be totally worth it. The other part is that, like I said just a minute ago, the orchestration for this, the arrangements that they're doing for this, I feel like it definitely would have stepped on top of the vocals a little too much, or the vocals would be way too present in front of the amazing orchestration. So it's like, I see it. I'm not saying that they should have done that because it would have been a better choice. I'm just saying that the option is definitely there and they chose not to, which is fine. But I would have preferred there be a little bit more of like a blend of the vocal ones and then orchestrated variants of them. So like if they did like that last one, I actually prefer it being without the vocals. You know, like I kind of liked what they did there. It allowed the guitarist to show off, you know, like let's go. But I think it would be nice if we had a few more songs with other vocals in there comparatively. Just me though. Other than that, it's been great. It's a very small gripe to have. This has still been a brilliant fucking production so far. I don't know if I'd go 50-50. Maybe like a 60-40 or 70-30. More orchestration, because they've got a brilliant orchestra here. I would definitely use them more, but a few vocal songs throughout would be a little bit appreciated as well. This has a presence. I love those crescendos. Those are really pretty. And again, they got that dialed in. It's so smooth. It's so smooth. It's wild hearing professionals do their thing. Ooh. I wasn't prepared to hear that synth in there. All right. Yeah, it kind of does make you wonder if any of the people in this orchestra are players of the game. Probably not. Because pros are just pros. And beautiful orchestration knows no bounds. It will show up wherever the fuck it wants to. Some people would say that orchestration this beautiful is a waste on this game. And I say, fuck that. The fact that it exists is plenty. I don't care where it comes from. Beautiful piece of music is a beautiful piece of music. And likewise, any musician reading this sheet music and understanding what it'll feel like and sound like understands that, you know? There's not a single person in an orchestra professionally that doesn't think that exact same thing, you know? The source is irrelevant. What matters is presentation and how well it's made. Purnell's back, let's go! Loving the hairstyle, by the way. And it takes a powerful person to make shoulder pads actually work. But goddamn, Purnell does it. There they are. Sorry, I was trying to hear the other vocalists. That might be the only, like, mix-wise, I feel like they could have put the backing vocalists a little bit higher, because I can't hear them at all over her power. voice needs to be in the forefront, but I can't even hear her support at all. The only thing I'm hearing is her support. Woo. Phantom of the Opera who? Christine who, bitch? Hell yeah, Purnell. But yeah, with a vocalist as strong as Purnell, they probably could have boosted her her backing vocalist just a smidge more. But that's the only downside about that whole mix. She was perfect in the front. But also a little bit too perfect in maybe that way. And again, not a lot of people can make shoulder pads work, but god damn Purnell, she does it. I only feel like the choir vocalist not being so pronounced in that last one made it feel like the scale was left on the table. It could have sounded a little bit more full if they included them a little bit better. But I don't think Purnell knows what restraint means, and that's also fine. The producers should have understood that. I really like those accents. Are we getting royalty in here now? Is that what's happening? For the king? Ha! Okay, probably then. It had that regality to it. Whenever you got brass being played like this, usually it has something to do with pride. And usually pride means kingdom or king. Some form of royalty. Hell yeah. Like, who's on the piano as well? They're doing fantastic. Like, there's so many people I want to know who's actually who. I'm still convinced, although I don't have any way to prove, that the guitarist is 9. Hey, I know this one. I might actually like this more than I do the vocal version. I didn't expect the clarinet there. Sorry, that threw me off. I like how they are like passing it around too. It's not just staying on one instrument for the lead. such a satisfying melody, like... It's such a vibe-tastic song. Delicate accents like that. Oh, hell yeah, tambourine guy, go! Hell yeah. Look at the tambourine dude over here just slapping that shit. I got mine down there. I'm not gonna ruin the mix, but love a competent and confident tambourine. One more. Hell yeah, give the tambourine guy a fucking camera. Let's go. It is an art, by the way, to stop a tambourine. Nobody respects that, and they should. A tambourine is a lot harder to play well than some people believe, I think. Just because it's, like, comparatively an easy instrument to play, but it's like, it's not. To get it to actually behave, that's a whole separate argument. Hold on, I gotta refresh my chat in OBS. It froze on me. I haven't been seeing what you guys have said for like the past, what, 6 minutes. There we go. Okay. I thought people just weren't saying anything, but then I checked my other tab. And it was just OBS being goofy. OBS widget being a silly bitch. It does happen sometimes. The YouTube side was actually fine. That's how I checked the like regular chat to see if you guys were doing fine. And you were. Oh yeah, OBS is still goated, but once in a while, some of the widgets that you get with it, hit or miss. And to be fair, it's specifically because I'm using the multi-chat widget for stream elements, so not official by technicality. Soprano hitting that highest note. Let's go. And yeah, Sharper, it is. I'm not streaming on Twitch right now, but I leave the multi-chat open so I can just use it. But once in a while it does freeze. It is really impressive how much they're getting out of 4 vocalists. That's nuts. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I love that accent. It always has so much of that regal presence that I was talking about earlier. Pretty much anytime you hear the doo-doo-doo, it's like, here we are. Everyone stand. Everyone motherfucking bow. Yeah, for real, 4 vocalists sounds like, they sounded like 20. Like, I'm sure they put a little bit of vocal processing on their mix just to make it a little bit more, you know, standard, but did a brilliant job with just the few that they had. This would have been awesome to see in person. Hell yeah. Bring out Purnell. Walk out with a hand on her hip like she owns the fucking stage. Oh, that's right. She does. All right. Apparently, before this jumps back in, there was somebody who was apparently offering, because there was a person streaming my Arknight's reaction stream for like their concert. Sorry, my brain's fucking up words right now. And there were people in Billy that he was streaming to that were apparently like, maybe we should get him an extra ticket to the actual concert next year. And I was like, well, you could give me a ticket to the concert, but that's not really the problem. The problem is the like couple $1,000s I would have to pay out of pocket just to go, you know, like it, I don't have that kind of money. Like, would it be cool? Yeah, if I had the opportunity to go, I would absolutely. But fuck, it's way too expensive. You know, like I can't. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford that in a realistic manner anytime soon, you know? So I just dealt with it. Getting there in the first place is still difficult. Yeah, right. It's like, well, less difficult than I think some people think it is. It is still a challenge, but it's relatively easy to get the permission to go to China to do something, as long as you know exactly what you're doing and you have like a full reason and you've done the background checks and everything. It would still take, like, I would have to start working on that application now, and then the likelihood of me actually being able to, 1, afford it anyway, and 2, actually get a ticket to that thing, because apparently sold out in under 40 seconds this year, or this past year. So I don't fucking think so. No. There apparently was an Arknights concert, but that was still in New York, which is easily halfway across the country from me. So it's like, I can't just get up and go to New York. It's not a casual fucking Friday. That's like a whole week that it would take me to like go and be comfortable, get away from the jet lag, have the energy to go to a concert and go back home. You know, like that would be at least 4 days for me to be able to get there, relax for a second, go to the concert, relax for a second, go home. You know, that's a lot. So if they bring it closer to me, I will definitely consider it. But it also depends on how expensive it is and where exactly it is. And I'm not in a good spot for any fucking concert anywhere. I'm in Iowa. So the nearest possible way for me to get to a concert realistically is a Chicago one. And that's still like a a whole day's excursion. I would have to do like an overnight in a hotel somewhere. Like I wouldn't be able to afford it otherwise, or be able to like mentally handle it. Because otherwise I would have to leave in like early afternoon at best, drive there immediately, go all the way the fuck to the concert, go to the concert, sit there for a couple of hours, and then drive all the way home for another like 4 hours. Like, good fucking Lord. No. And I'm nowhere near any of the few trains that exist in the US commercially. So it's like, ugh. So I just can't do much, you know? It's like, it's not easy to just wake up and decide I'm gonna do some shit today. So it's like, I'd have to drive across a state, go to the concert, and drive back. Or I drive there, stay the night, then I drive back after the concert. Or I drive there, stay the night, go to the concert, stay the next night, and then go home. Which is a lot of money. So it's probably not going to happen, you know, like unless somebody's like fully footing the bill, or at least in some direction footing the bill, there's no way that I'm going to be able to go to an average concert for basically any of these fucking things, which sucks because I would love to. I would adore that experience, but I can't afford that. And the US is way too big, and I'm not in an ideal location for any of that shit. So it's like, great. Fuck me, I guess, you know? I've considered taking like a more like extended vacation to a spot that would have one around that time, but then I would have to know when it's around the time. And then usually they don't start selling the tickets until like a week before. So it's like, then I would have to get a flight and everything in under a week to go and stay a place. And then it's like, well, I have the money at that time to do it. I don't know. You know, there's way too many ifs, ands, or buts. So I just don't really worry about it. It would be nice, but I don't fucking think so. Rent an RV for a weekend. Yeah, that is an option. I cannot sleep in the car. I'm a type 1 diabetic. Like, I have to have at least some general form of, like, well, depending. I like, if I'm staying longer than a day, it wouldn't be a problem, or less than a day, it wouldn't be a problem. But if it's, like, multiple days, I would have to, like, have my diabetic supplies with me to be able to change my insulin sites and everything. It's like, I've got my pancreas on the outside. I can't just casually take a fucking weekend to go to a thing, you know? And that's something else that makes it hard for traveling abroad, is if I go anywhere, I have to have like at least a week of stuff on back stock to be able to handle switches. I can't just go someplace and make it a casual afternoon, you know? It's then I have to go through fucking customs and have them see all my pump stuff and go, oh, is this illegal? This looks like a drug. And have me go, yeah, I'm a type 1 diabetic, and the whole fucking nine. So it gets to be a pain in the ass. Canada was fine when I went up to Canada this past fall. But it was still like, do I do I want to go through that again? Because it was kind of annoying to deal with all that shit. Small plus compared to a lot of people, you don't have to deal with a visa. I mean, depends on where you're talking. We do have one of the more available travel like passports compared to a lot of places, but for places like China, we still have to go through a lot of background checks to make that happen. For places like Japan or the UK, or really anywhere in Europe and Canada, it's relatively easy to bring in your passport and go, here I am. They go, yep, that's you, and you move on. But places like China are a little bit more stringent for that. So it's like I'd have to be super careful to make sure I do everything right to be able to go to any of those. But that's specific to that place. Or like North Korea. But I'm not planning on going there. So yeah, like at large, it's not too bad to travel out of the US when it comes to paperwork. The other paperwork you have to worry about is the value of the almighty goddamn dollar, which we don't have a lot of here. It might seem like it, but we don't. Like, everything's so fucking expensive. It's like, I can't afford to eat out right now. Like, not that I usually do anyway, but it's just, God, it's so expensive. Like, what I'm making right now on YouTube, like, sorry, we're just kind of going down this rabbit hole here before I finish the concert, I guess, but if I were to go out on YouTube money, I'm able to pay my rent to live here, which is still in my sister's basement. I don't have a car. I have my, like, phone bill and other basic expenses, but I don't make really enough to, like, save much when it comes down to the things I do have to buy and upkeep and spend for the channel to do well as well. Like, if I want to do a cover of something, I have to pay the people to help me with that. If I have to hire artists to help me do stuff to do, like my mascots that I've announced, it's like I hire people to do that. It costs money, so I spend the money. But then I'm like, I'm also kind of, I wouldn't call myself a penny pincher necessarily, because I do spend money on things that are just for me, but not so much like some people do. I make sure it'll still be, like, functionally worth it in the grand scheme of what I do as a creator. So it'll be like drumsticks, you know, stuff that I could technically write off on taxes, but also it just depends. It's like the economy sucks, and I can't just afford to hop up and leave and be comfortable doing that, and then realizing I've spent $2,000 to go to a place for a week just to go back home and not have that $2,000 anymore. You know, like, it would be like, for a hotel and a stay, it would probably be about $2,000 for me to go to LA and to stay there for 2 days, which is a lot, you know, like, that's pretty much all of my current savings account. It's not a lot. So I would love to go and do things and see things and chill out with people, but I don't have the money for it, and that's the worst part. So there's a part of me that has been saving up a little bit, but that's probably just to go to a place that I really want to go to. Like, I want to go to Japan real fucking bad before I'm too old to really get the benefit of going to Japan. And to me, that would be like, if I'm in my 30s, that's okay, but I'm also somebody with a constantly dying body. So I'd prefer not to do that unless I'm planning on doing it fairly soon. I do not want to be backpacking around Japan in my 40s with diabetes. No, thank you. So it's like, I'll try, but it just depends on what's going to happen in the future. I have been saving up for that one specifically, but I don't know exactly how soon it's going to be happening. My goal is sometime next year, but that's not a hard goal either. I don't know if it'll actually happen. Is there anyone else like... Well, I mean, like, statistically, I will die faster than pretty much all of you guys. So...
We're face to face. You never know.
Ooh. Oh, a little bass riff in there, though.
The quiet storms are battling in the night, and quiet gentlemen breeze rises to shine bright with the warmth, the moonlight and the stars.
Okay.
Let the time
Background vocalists. You are allowed to pinch a little bit when you're backing up a song like this. Come on. Drummer had the drummer face.
Your touch becomes magic spell instead of my heart and hand. We're diving through the clouds and rains, so when you go, all dreaming face to face, dreaming face to face.
Hell yeah.
Dreaming face to face. A symphony of grace.
I heard slap bass in there. Hell yeah. bassist having a good time.
My body's floating on waves of delight. My loneliness melody sets out to daylight.
Yeah, going out to like drink or whatever, it's not my thing. I'd much prefer to stay inside, just in general. A little bit of vocal athletics. Funky jazz. We vibing with it. Get those vocal athletics out. Have fun with it. A couple more runs, why not? Nice. Was that the last one, or we got another one? Most likely got another one. Yeah. So before that, though, the only downside I had with that song was that the backing vocalist for that one, you're allowed to pinch a little bit. When a song is in this vibe, you shouldn't have your voice so open. You shouldn't be singing all vowels. You should have a little bit more, character to it, a little bit more nasal. You don't have to sit there and go, just like wide open vowels. It wasn't even that they were low. I think that this mix worked a little bit better with that than being kind of nestled in the background. But the fact that they were so open made it sound harder to hear. I think that this one could have benefited from a little bit more jazz, a little bit more stank on the vocals, from the backing vocalist. She was doing fantastic. She got the tone right. The background vocals, though, were just not there. Like, instead of going, you're allowed to go, like, just throw it out there. Throw it out the front. I know they can. They're probably just so trained to not do that it's hard to not do that. Some vocalists are just beaten across the head with keep your voice open and wide and broad. Do not pinch ever. And then when they get a job like this, they don't remember that when it comes time, and they just literally, it just doesn't sound quite right. It just sounded too full. And it would have been a little bit better had they decided to be a little bit more nasally with it. That was really the only bad thing, though. Everything else was here. No one knew what she was doing when she corrected the pronunciation of fiery spark instead of fiery spark. Guess I'm about to hear it. See, the choir sounds great. Blends in perfectly. That was fine. I don't even know what you're talking about there, Botmaster. She pronounced that perfectly fine. She says Fury in the official? I'll have to re-listen to that after this then. I don't remember that.
Through shadows and rays, the poison will dance. In disgrace, the stick of the fading tree. Elegantly holding hope aglow, the kingdoms keep pushing over through. The clouds and clouds of a monstrousness, the thief to Satan something not so less. Preciously would it find our dreams to cause and sheds its final beams, and step by step with our hearts alight, against an mystery sight. In battle's blaze I stand tall, true to the clarion call of all. Each sword is a flash, each shield a rod, each arrow is a cloud.
Yeah, you need a lot of support for this song. Like, a lot of it. Like, getting the dynamics for, like, this part. Getting, like, that support consistent is fucking insanely impressive. That much energy for that long, you know? Average drummer activities, let's go. It's me, I'm here. Let's fucking go. Yay! I love that they're giving the people in the back row an actual stance. God, he's got that open back too, hell yeah. And that's not Cosmograph on the piano, right? Let's go. Popped out like Super Mario. I love that they're giving every section an individual notice. That's really cool. Got here late. Can we go back to the beginning? I don't know. This era is different. I have never really seen Cosmo, so like I don't even know. I just wouldn't have been surprised, you know? But that's gotta be 9 on the guitar, right? It's gotta be 9. Why am I in my own recommendeds? I didn't skip anything, so if they didn't do that, then I wouldn't have been here. Real quick, let me pull up Clarion Call so I can hear what the hell you guys are talking about. Because I want to hear this shit.
In majesty, with a blade of steel, the warrior maiden awakens free. From jewels to outshine the dark, the crown's resolve is a fiery spark. In unity.
That's not incorrect. Bold statement, but hear me out. She's doing some selective Old English pronunciations. Like,
Yourself is a fiery spark.
fiery is how you would say that word in Old English. Does it happen again? I'm not seeing it. Because, like, she also says joust instead of joust.
Into my heart, the warrior maiden awakens free from juice to juice to
See? She says joust, which is, yeah. Instead of joust to joust, she says joust to joust, and then she says the fury instead of fiery. So she's kind of blending, she's like doing a hybridization of English balance. I assume that she did the smile just because she's trying to like generally do the presentation of it, you know, like she's acting out the song as a performer does. I don't know if that was specifically because she noticed that she like sang it like differently or anything. Maybe might have been smiling because maybe people give her shit for that, but I'll stand by that. She sang that technically correct. I gotta be a little bit picky there. It's not wrong.
stand tall, singing the clarion call of majesty.
See, clarion instead of clarion. It's like she's doing.
Sword is a flash, its shield a rock, its shine was a clock that clocks on a crash. The coup de grace,
I mean, she said coup de grace, right?
battles in soft moonlight.
I just want to see if anything else is different now.
Shadows embrace the poison dance in disgrace. Falls that cut away in a trance. Elegantly holding hope aglow, the kingdom's
Okay.
keeper shall overthrow.
Elegantly was fine. She said elegantly, but that's more because I think of the separation in the syllables more than anything, because she is singing most of this very open anyway, so she's changing her vowel shapes from like A's to A's instead, just like I was kind of giving shit about the other vocalists earlier for doing. This is a song where you would do it and why they sounded great together, but that prior one was a very poppy comparative song, so it's like when you're going for something contemporary, be a little bit more pinchy, be a little bit more thin. When you're doing something like this that's supposed to have this big regal bravado, do it. You know, like have those broad vocals, have those vowels rather. So it's like,
Absoluteness, precious.
but she's also being kind of inconsistent with it.
Till the sun sheds its final beams, and step by step with our hearts alight, the gives us with every song. In battle's blaze I stand tall.
That was a different word.
Battle's blaze I stand tall.
That was just, she said place, not wake.
In battle's blaze I stand tall.
See? Like, that's place. She said place, not wake. So the lyrics here are wrong, or she was wrong and they used the vocals from a different take. You know what I'm saying? I think that might have been a mistake on their side. Can't tell who was at fault there.
To the clarion call of each sword is a flash, each shield a rock, each arm was a block that claws on a crush. The coup de grace, he deal by a night, who fought and did fight in the sunlight. Love is a fight, who stays at a gate, and fate is a play that plays overnight. The coup de grace, he deal by a night, who fought and did fight in the starlight. As battle stands, I stand tall. I am the clarion call of
It's also a lot easier to hit like certain notes when you're using, especially higher notes when you're using an open vowel, because you're able to open the chamber of your mouth and your chest a lot more when you're like reaching there. So things like echoing the morning sky is like echoing the morning sky. Technically, it sounds stupid as shit, but that's what happens when you have to open your chest and you get more of this resonance. Your voice needs to go somewhere, so opening it up changes the vowel sound in your mouth. So that's just what the song does. So I'm actually more impressed that she decided to kind of negate a lot of that. She was still doing a lot of it in the live version, but things like at the beginning with the whole like this. I'm kind of more impressed that she decided to do Fury and Jost instead, you know? But that's the difference between like it. I wonder if at some point during the recording process she sent these takes over and then they were like, maybe don't do as much of that. And then she fixed that, but then they left these takes in because they were just that good. And then it kind of led to the whole thing. Or it's just because it's the beginning of the song and we haven't reached that presence yet. So they're trying to like set the mood a little bit more aggressively by having her pronounce some of these words a little bit more specifically, which is cool, but also just not how you would expect them to be. Because we know modern English, obviously. We were born in this time. But this is English from like the 1600s era. Sorry, not 1600s. We're talking like 12, probably. I'm trying to like, I don't remember that much of history as far as like that far back goes. 1200s probably feels more right. Somewhere north of the Middle Ages. Just barely though. Like right after that transition, things started to change linguistically. We started to have more broad trade routes invested, and you'd have a lot more movement with how the sound of the language goes. So places started to share things more. You start to change your tones and your consonant sounds. Your vowels would change a little bit. And some languages, because people would be moving a little bit more freely between countries, would start to affect the language over time. And then you get these weird pronunciations. So that's just how that goes. But when you're talking like just the presence of having like this big like presence in the and like having that huge boost in your fucking voice is much different from like the modern way of singing of just it's more forward. It's like that does better on a stage because you have to have this presence and this forward momentum in your voice to be able to shoot your voice basically to the back of the I almost said stadium, kind of the back of the venue of any size. So when you're singing like that, if you're singing this big heavy whole vocals down in your like chest voice and you've got a lot of bravado to yourself and you're just doing that, right? You're not going to make it to the back seats or up into the second level, you know, like however many people are in whatever location you're doing the song in, you're performing. You will not get your voice up to the back seats in multiple levels if you're singing this big, low, like, well supported, yeah, but like low travels slower than high and bright. So that's why we have the difference of like opera vocals, way different in training and regime than like modern theater vocals are, basically. Like if you're looking at musical theater versus opera, they don't sound the same for a reason, because you have to train your voice to do different things in those moments to be able to get your voice way back there. So for like opera singers, they can do that because they were trained to, and for like theater singers and Broadway singers, they're usually trained to be a little bit more forward and more out the nose and out the mouth, but they're still supported in the diaphragm. Both of them are very much. So it's just a matter of where you place it in the exit chamber, basically. It's a mess. So it's like, I think that's really cool that she did that vocally, but that's just due to the shaping of the vowels more than anything else, I would say. But I like it. I think that's clever. Hey, look, somebody doing a drum cover. Let's watch that real quick, actually. Ayo. I want to see this person do a drum. I'm gonna judge them. I don't know who this person is. His snare ring is a little bit too much. Bro needs a mute or something on there. It's me wearing a costume? Yeah. For sure. He's got a really good mix on his kick, actually. Cymbals are a little bit sharp. Bro's having a little bit too much fun with the effects on the video. Oh, the snare tone is fine. His hi-hat's a little inconsistent. His snare tone is fine. It's the ring is a little bit much. Just a smidge, though. I actually kind of wonder where he's getting his mix from for the overheads, because he's got the snare here, the tom here, a tom here. I don't see any other microphones on the cymbals, so that's either there's some room mics above where he's recording, which is extraordinarily high in my opinion for room mics for cymbals to be, which might be explaining why they're so loud, because he felt like he had to compensate for it in the mix, but they're also very thin, so that makes me think that they're not really good microphones. Maybe they're in the back behind cameras somewhere, like off screen, which would be weird because that's a room mic, not an overhead. So maybe that's what's happening, because it's just like, yeah, and this like tom mic is really high. Like this should be lower and much closer to the tom. And if that's supposed to be his overhead mic, because I don't see one on the tom, if that's supposed to be like one microphone for all of his cymbals, that's just not good technique. Because then you're going to be, this is a cardioid dynamic microphone, which means it's not really going to capture these well at all, and you wouldn't have a good sound for them. So they would be like super quiet in that space. So it's like, I feel like there probably are two either right above him or like right off camera, but those are two very bad placements for mics. I don't necessarily blame him though in that respect, because if they're like mics that are part of this recording in probably a practice space, they probably don't have any proper setups for those. Who's gonna want to fucking bring stands for microphones to a practice space to record? You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot. So I don't know. It's not exactly an ideal location. I'm not blaming him on the recording. The cymbals are a little bit thin. They could be brought down in the mix a little bit. The kick sound is actually really good. That's my favorite sound of the whole kit, honestly. His toms and kicks are fine. They're mixed fairly well. His snare, again, just a little bit too much ring to it. I would say slap a wallet on there and it would sound perfect. It's just got a little bit too much decay on it. It's too long. just by a smidge. You know, you don't need much to fix that. Just literally anything on the snare to bounce and to act as a temporary, like, well, I've got a mute on mine because it sounds really weird when it's just endlessly ringing. For certain songs, it sounds fine. But for ones like this, it's a little bit tighter in the mix, so I would say lessen the decay. But other than that, it seems fine. The floor tom mic would probably not pick up the ride, and well, maybe a little bit of the ride at that angle, which like this looks like a poor angle for that to be. If you're trying to get just this, so maybe he's trying to do that, but then you're not getting enough of the floor, which means you got to turn this mic up, which means you're going to get too much of this. Plus it seems to just be a standard tom mic, which means resonance wise it's probably pre-tuned to a lower band of frequency, so it's not going to get much of this in the right frequency, and you're going to get these weird washy frequencies in the microphone itself. So that's the importance of having, like, he should have 2 small diaphragms above getting the cymbals, or at least 1, but that might be what the issue is. He might have 1 off-camera microphone that's a room microphone that would include everything on the kit. So he's probably putting a bunch of filters on it to make it really bright, which is very aggressive to the ear. So again, this is a practice space. Like, most definitely this is a space he's just like, okay, I practice here a couple times a week if I'm like really serious, maybe once a week, or a couple times a month if he's really just casual about it. He's playing well enough. I feel like he's probably in a band at least, right? I don't think he's bad. He's a good drummer. It's just the mix is weird, and I can't fault him for that because I don't feel like it's his fault. You know, it's probably just the area. Practice spaces tend to be well mixed or well isolated from the inside to the out or outside to in. So like the barrier is pretty decent. But when you're talking about like internally the acoustics of the rooms, they're not balanced well at all because they're a room. It's basically a room with thick walls, and that's all it needs to be. It doesn't have any like balancing, not much for acoustic foam or padding or much around there. Not enough that it would be good for a recording space. I mean, my room isn't exactly ideal for that either, but like I've spent the time to get it somewhere in the ballpark of being decent, and even then it's still not great. So, yeah. And even if he did have like his camera mic on here and like that's what was being done, that could be, but usually those have built-in compressors, which would take away a lot of the shine that we're hearing. So I feel like he just has an extra mic somewhere off camera. That's probably the best guess I've got. Technological mumbo jumbo. I just wanted to see, because it just it appeared on my For You page, like on the main video page, and I was like, I want to see what this sounds like. The answer was not too bad, but also work on the mix a little bit, and it would, like, the microphones were picking up fine. Lower the sharpness of the cymbals, and he'd probably be fine. Honestly, that's like the worst part of it. His hits on the hi-hat, like I said, were a little inconsistent, but I think that was just pure vibes. I don't necessarily blame him for that one either. I've done that. You just kind of start playing and you don't really realize where your hands are or aren't hitting, and you're just like, oh shit. Especially if he's in a practice space like that, he's probably just recording once. He's not getting multiple takes, and if he is, it's maybe 2 or 3 before his time would run out. So, Anyway, I think that's basically all I was going to do today. I went longer on this stream than I thought I would. I was really only planning on doing the NIKKE thing. So like I don't think there's much else for me to worry about or do, I suppose. Just kind of yapping at this point. Yeah, it does. Sometimes it does. But for cymbals, the microphones on phones and cameras usually aren't tuned enough into the high range to be able to get some of that like crispier, thinner brightness out of it. So I feel like that was just him. Or he was trying to compensate by adding it back in, which would just sound digital and kind of crappy. So it kind of depends on the microphone, but also he is probably just overcompensating. That would depend on what headphones he's using. as well. Like if he's mixing on just his laptop or something like that without any sort of actual headphones with a good mix, that's an issue. Or he just straight up can't, it doesn't have a good headphones that are good for mixing, which is also a very common thing with people who are just kind of casually doing recordings like that. Like I've got these are very well balanced and neutral for a reason. That's why I use them to mix stuff. I also have my, albeit fairly cheap, but still usable and very decent for their price point, monitors on my computer that I can listen to stuff on. So it's like I've got two right off the bat that I can listen to one, check my mix, listen to my headphones, check my mix, change some things, find a good happy medium between both, and call it a day. And even then I don't mix too much too often regardless. So yeah, I'm not fucking sitting here acting like I'm a pro. I'm an idiot in a basement, but I do know where my ear sits on the preference, and it's just like, this is a little bit sharp, which means he probably has bass heavy headphones, which a lot of headphones are very tuned to the bass favorability, which means you would overcompensate your mix to adjust for that so you could hear your highs because your headphones naturally do not give you any. So there's a lot of factors there, but that's mostly it. I just wanted to see what that was because I was like, hey, look, a drummer. I gotta see it. I like to see especially people who don't have like a huge amount of viewers and like aren't big YouTubers. It's like, I want to see what happens here. I want to see how good you are. So it's like, good drummer. Just could use a little bit of help on the mix there, but that's just kind of par for the course with most YouTube drummers, to be real, including myself. I'm not great at mixing either. I just have decent enough equipment that it kind of saves and makes up for my inadequacy. So that's the best way to phrase that. So like I'm sitting here trying to act like I'm a fucking a professional. I'm not. I'm just a dingus with microphones and a drum kit. But I will say, I guess I'm done on this because I've been going for about 2 hours. All I was going to do really was the concert for today. I've got to still record stuff later today, so I'll be doing that. Like I said, I probably don't know when I'll be getting to NIKKE as far as gameplay. It might be before the end of the year. It depends on how many other games I have to get to first, but you'll all know about that when I actually do it. So no worries there. My 7 IEMs. Yeah, I can't even use IEMs. I had to go to overheads because my ears are so weird that I can't use IEMs. Short of like getting completely custom ears, which I cannot afford. So I will just kind of be dealing with my over ears, my Vic Firths for monitoring and playing while I do stuff. But anyway, like I said, gonna call it. So I will see you guys all next time I upload a NIKKE video, which might be later this week. I can't remember what my schedule is. Hold on. I'll check that real quick. What am I doing next? Oh, literally tomorrow. I'll be recording literally tomorrow. Okay. Well, there's that. So you guys will have a NIKKE video in 2 days. I don't know what song it's going to be. I haven't looked through the comments yet, but that'll be there. And, yeah. I guess this is the end of the stream, so goodbye!